so Chris Brown is the picture up here, but after I made this, like I made this a few days ago, so I want to talk about Chris Brown, Anthony Mackey, black women's unwavering loyalty to black men who don't like them and why that is. I don't understand why black women seem to love and want to protect, um, black men that don't like them and don't care for them at all. I don't know. This person, Nation, please get out of here. All right. Number two, I wanted to talk about, you know, Chris Brown specifically has a nice fan base of black women that get extremely aggressive. If you ever try to say anything about this man, that have like really undying loyalty and support to this man, even and also I don't even think that I would be that upset at black women still continuing to listen to Chris Brown's music if they did not allow their desires for them to openly uplift him. Okay, let me block this dude. I'm sorry. Hold on, y'all. Um, because you are like glazing another man. You're over here, meat munching another man. And if you don't realize that that's problematic for you, not for me because I'm a woman, but it's very strange when you see other men meat glaze, ball gobble other men. Like you got to get a grip on yourself and on your life. That's embarrassing for you to be, meat riding another man. Do better with yourself, okay? Now I'm going to go ahead and block you. Have a great day. Anyway, as I was saying, like, the thing about it is, like I said, now I know other people may have a problem if people listen to Chris Brown's music, black women, but I don't even think that I would be tripping on black women if they listen to this man music in private. The issue that I would have with black women is the fact that why are y'all always talking about how fine he is, how sexy you think he is, and all of these things when you know that he doesn't like your black behind? When you know he doesn't like you. I don't care how many pictures that he takes with you that you have to pay him to take. That doesn't mean that he likes you. He doesn't. And that to me is embarrassing to continually lust after a man who does not like black women. And of course, we know that he doesn't like dark skinned black women, but I don't really think he likes fully black, light skinned women either. So if you're a monoracial black woman and you're light skinned, and I'm talking about your mama black and your daddy black, I don't think he like you either. I think that if you are a monoracial black woman, you're not liked. Whether you're light skinned, brown skinned, or dark skinned. And the fact that those are his main supporters, that is disturbing to me that Chris Brown's main supporters are black women. You know what I'm saying? If you see Chris Brown, normally and I, to be honest with you, Proud, Chris Brown, I see him with what's the word? I guess Blasians, or full out Asian women, because I think his most recent baby mama is just Asian, period. She not biracial at all. She do like to cosplay as a black woman, like laying down baby hairs and stuff like that, but she is a fully Asian woman. So she's not even biracial. So I wish that people would understand that this man does not like black women. He do not. And to see black women constantly lust after this man, to see all the videos that I've seen of people taking at Breezy Bowl or whatever, uplifting this man is embarrassing to me. I feel embarrassed every time I see it. I really do. I feel straight up embarrassed. I just like, why you gotta be so desperate, dang? Um, you there, Proud?
Hi, Triggered. We love
Hey, how you
you.
doing?
How you doing? I just want to say something really quick. So I think okay, I think this is so sad, and I want you to tell me how you feel about it. I think it is so sad that a lot of our black male artists are so talented. Like, I'm a realist. Chris Brown is talented. And that is why he's able to get away with the colorism that he's been able to get away with, because he's so fucking talented. I think black men in the back of their mind, they know they're smart enough, because they're not intelligent at most things, but they're smart enough to know that if they're going to have this self-hate, this colorism that resides in them, this thing where they're known to tear down and disrespect the women in their own community, they also know that they have to be just as talented, because that's the only way people will overlook that. And Chris Brown has been able to get away with that for years. I mean, there was a YT man that did a video yesterday, Triggered, that said something like, and the video got like 50,000 likes, y'all, 200,000 views, because all the white man said was, Chris Brown, Rihanna was not the last person that Chris Brown put his hands on. I want y'all to remember that. And everybody was like, exactly. He didn't stop beating up people after Rihanna. That's not the last woman that he put hands and feet on. You brought up another point about the Asian, because y'all got to remember too, Chris Brown's mom is biracial. So I think that has a lot to do with part of his colorism. But one of my favorite songs that he's in, unfortunately, is because I want to make a point here, to go back to what you were saying, Triggered, about him and the Asians. So that song that he has with August Alsina and DJ Khaled, I'll hold you down. When he starts off the beginning of the video, I want y'all to go to YouTube so you can see. The woman that appears first in the video, she looked like Karuchi. She's got to be half Asian and half black. So there's something in him where he's stuck on Asian and black, or Latino and white. Like, he don't like black women, but he is definitely more disrespectful to dark-skinned women. That's why I said that, because he's known for not letting dark-skinned women in his sections, in the VIP sections in clubs. So that's why I mentioned that. His hatred is really for black women, but he has an even deeper hatred for dark-skinned women. And I'm not understanding why dark-skinned women are the main ones who are still slopping this nigga dick. I don't understand that.
Let me tell you something. I don't know either, Proud. I'm telling you, I didn't got into it with plenty of darker skinned black women about this situation about Chris Brown. And they have called me everything but a child of God. And I am always flabbergasted. My question I always pose to them is, I ain't said half the stuff that Chris Brown said about you, and you love him. So I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I do believe that he is talented. I'm not even saying that I haven't had some songs of his that I have liked or enjoyed. I'm not of the thing that he is on Michael Jackson's level or anything like that, because I don't believe that he is. I don't believe anyone is, to be honest with you. But I think there are people that are great artists, but his Michael Jackson level, no. I don't think we'll ever get that again, due to the internet and people being like more connected to celebrities. But yeah, I don't know. I don't get it. I just think it's very embarrassing to me that I see black women do it. And I really do. This just goes into what I say all the time, that I feel like black women will never be respected, because black women still, somebody can treat them bad, spit in their face, dog them out, and black women are still gonna be like, yes, you a king, I love you so much. And it's just like, are you crazy? The sentiments are not returned. It's not reciprocated. What are you doing? That's very, very embarrassing to me. Like, I don't understand it. It really, really embarrasses me. And anyway, also I wanted to talk about, okay, so I seen this picture today, or yesterday, excuse me, this video circulating of Anthony Mackey. If y'all don't know who Anthony Mackey is, y'all should though. He is the newest Captain America. What else was he in? He's in a show that come on Peacock called Twisted Metal. He's dang, I know he was in some other stuff. Y'all got to know who Anthony Mackey is, right? The black guy. He has big eyes. He looked very I don't know, suspicious all the time. He got a suspicious expression. Anyway, he just got like he talk a lot of black stuff too. And I never trust black men that talk black stuff. You know what I'm saying? I never trust the ones that talk pro-blackness and all of that, because most of the time, those are the main men that be loving the snow bunnies. But yeah, he just got caught up being with a white tea woman, taking pictures with her, hugged up with her, and things like this. And this is what I wanted to show y'all. Hold on this white tea woman. Now you see what she looked like, right? This is another element to it. I really wanted to know, it's the same way that I just saw Jamie Foxx, in that whole car or whole truck full of snow bunnies that all looked mediocre out with yesterday. And so what I'm saying is that I don't understand. Like, you see this woman, I'm not trying to talk about nobody looks. I really try not to do that. But y'all see what she looked like. I really, y'all see what she looked like. And I am like, what is up with black men and the acceptance of, you know, women that I know they wouldn't accept if they were black, if that makes sense. It's like the whiteness or the absence of blackness is the attraction. Not the face, not the looks, not the body, not the hair. It's actually the absence of blackness. And honestly, until black men address self-hatred, black men address that self-hatred, I feel like the black community will never be able to recover or be healthy at all. You know what I'm saying? Um let me put the other picture up. Let me go down here to Ro, and then I'll go to Gabrielle. I should look at y'all comments too. I didn't even read y'all comments, y'all. Trishika, I'm sorry, Ro. Just 1 second. Trishika in the comments said, "What does looks have to do with this?" I just explained it. If you don't get it, I don't know what to tell you. And let me see if there's anybody else that I needed to address in the comments. Sharniqua says, guys, famous people having a type shouldn't be a conversation. Why are we focusing on this? Well, respectfully, Sharniqua, I can talk about whatever I want to. I can have a conversation on whatever I want and focus on whatever I want. But the way you asked me this question, Sharniqua, you're probably a Chris Brown fan too. And looking at your profile, you don't have a chance in hell. You don't, respectfully. So you defending him here, and he doesn't know, he's not going to give you the D. He never will. The only thing he'll tell is security to escort you out and put you outside. Okay. Now let's see. Anybody else I need to address? No. All right. So it's very weird. Yes, black women are always gonna come in and gaslight you when it comes to Chris Brown. And I really I struggle what to say because I don't want to be disrespectful. But the black women that come in and protect Chris Brown are black women that he would definitely say, security, security, get this. Y'all remember what's that show where he said, get this jigaboo out of here? And I'm not trying to be funny. I don't believe that. I'm not trying to use it as calling. I'm not trying to use it as calling black women that, but I'm just saying that's what he would say. That's what he would say. Respectfully, I'm not even trying to be funny. Like, it's like you're defending a man that will tell you that you need to get out of here because you're too black. And that's very weird. Yes, white chicks is, that's exactly what I'm talking about. It anyway, y'all get what I'm saying. Like, and it's sad that there are so many black women that will defend a man that would do that to him. Like, I don't, it doesn't make sense. But anyway, let me go down here to Roll God and then Gabrielle. Go ahead. I'm sorry, sis.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it. So it just breaks my heart to no end, and you guys don't understand. Chris Brown is from my town. Him and Trey Songz. Oh my goodness, I was so proud to be from the same place. But I'm telling you, it just crushes me how these young, talented men just go out here and just destroy their reputation by doing stupid stuff. And I am one of those that will put him up there with Michael Jackson and all the greats because as far as performance goes, he's a great performer. I've seen him perform live. I saw him when he first started. So it just hurts me so bad that we have to be in a time like this where, like you said, the colorism thing from the town that we're from, yeah, like that's the standard. I don't know why, but our men have a standard that's with the other men's standard. So, it's like the straight hair, the light skin, and that type of thing. It's pretty much what's going on today, in our society. And it's just so sad. But until they get educated and maybe a little older and start listening to other people, that's what we're pretty much going to be dealing with, unfortunately. And I land.
All right, Ro. I think that you are way more optimistic than I am. I don't believe that getting older is going to change anything. Look at Jamie Foxx. Jamie Foxx is in his 50s, if I'm not mistaken. He's the exact same way. Shannon Sharp is almost 60. He's the exact same way. I don't believe that age is going to change any of these men because the rooted the part the what the problem is that they're buck broken. and they are they have internalized the things that white people have told them, that black is less than, that black equals mediocrity. And I have no idea why, because the things that make these men be able to be high performers or achievers, or that have helped them get to where they were the black part of them. It was their blackness. It was nothing else. Because you don't see none of these other people that they want to be surrounded by achieving these things that these men have. Their blackness is what has done it. Yeah, they're self-hating, and I don't believe that will ever change. But let me go down here to Gabrielle next, and then Mia.
Yeah, good morning, Triggered. I definitely want to weigh in on this because I definitely have some thoughts and hot takes. I mean, I personally, when it comes to Chris Brown, I really don't see the appeal, but again, that's just me personally. I mean, even that aside, I mean, he's got like multiple credible allegations. Like, we know what he did to Rihanna, and then I think he was also abusive towards Karuchi, and yet I will still, be on social media and see that there are like women paying, I think like over $1,000 or close to $1,000 just to get photographs with him. I mean, there is a photo of one woman and she was like sitting in his lap, and I guess I don't know if she was pregnant, but I guess she was sitting in his lap when she was holding, like the photo where it's like supposed to be like the four pictures going down vertically of like the baby when it's like, I guess still in the womb or whatever. And just stuff like that. Like, I don't understand it. I don't understand the attraction, the appeal. I really think like it comes down to misogyny, like I guess maybe internalized misogyny, like male centeredness, because I mean this is not, a man who's even, pretended to, view have any kind of value or respect for women. And when it comes to number 3 of the prompt, Diddy, Tory Lanez, and R. Kelly, I mean, it's like it's really the same thing. I mean, like there even like during the Diddy trial, there were some women who were supporting him. I guess they were they pouring baby oil on themselves like in front of the courthouse? It's like, why are you? And with Diddy, like it's not even a question. I mean, not. I mean, he was literally on video in a hotel room, like violently attacking Cassie and like throwing her down and dragging her. And like I'm like really just getting upset even just talking about it. But there were, even with the video evidence, like right there in black and white, no denying it, there were still women who were supporting him. And this is why I continue to say that I really do not believe that male-centered women can be saved, because I really think like if a guy has allegations against him, like 99.999999999 times out of 100, he did it. But when there's video footage, there's showing that a guy was violent, and you as a woman are still supporting him, or you're still surrounding yourself with men who support him, then it's like, I don't know what to tell you, but I don't even want to be around, male-centered women like that. I think just everything that's happening in the world, in this country, it's not a time to surround yourself with women who, are, supportive of men like Chris Brown or, Tory Lanez or R. Kelly. I mean, I really think there is something wrong with you as a woman if you're supporting any of these men. And yeah, I mean, that ties into number 4, like, no matter how much you degrade yourself, no matter how much you, defend them against, women who rightfully call them out, like, you're not getting anything out of that. I mean, like, yeah, like Chris Brown will happily take these women's money, but they're giving their money to a man who does not, see them as, people, as like, I don't even know how to say it. Like, it's ridiculous to me. And unfortunately, I don't think it's going to change, because there definitely is an issue of like pick-meism and male centeredness in this. And apparently even, credible allegations. And in the case of Diddy, even video footage will not stop certain women from, supporting men like this. But when it comes to those women, I just want them as far away from me as the East is from the West. Because I literally, like, mentally, emotionally cannot be in proximity to people who, will carry, water for, men like this. But I'll land there.
All right. I appreciate you, Gabrielle. I definitely think that you made some points. I wanted to say something, but I'll keep going because I got full house now. All right, go ahead, Mia.
Hi, can
So,
you guys?
how you doing?
I'm fine. First, I want to say it's an honor to be up here and finally actually be able to say something to you and you hear me. And because I've found you through Proud Black Woman. I had been listening to her for a while and she mentioned you. So I went on your page and I'm like, oh my God, I'm always excited to come across pages where you have Black women trying to mentally stabilize Black women by telling them what is going on, because it seems like a lot of us are waking up, some of us already knew, and then too many are just sleep or don't want to believe this type of stuff. I think that we need a complete software reboot, a reboot, because Black men have publicly degraded and dehumanized Black women for the world to see. And I believe that that has broken the self-esteem of a lot of Black women. They don't feel like they could do better, or some of them don't want to go elsewhere, be with other men, and they prioritize being in relationships. So they, I would say, have submitted to the being dehumanized. Because, like, just since your arrival here is what you've been in your image. But Black men have literally threw Black women under the bus. They have literally, in order to sit with whites and be accepted by white women, it's like they have made an agreement with those women that they will tear us down and uplift them to make those women feel better. It's like Black men have an inferiority complex and white women have a superiority complex, and they feed off of each other. He's content and comfortable with helping her feel superior by degrading us, and she's content and comfortable with him being inferior in that relationship and sitting next to him being uplifted. And she sometimes don't care if that relationship sucks or if it's bad, because a lot of times this is the trash out of their own communities, and they flock to these men because they need a self-esteem uplift, and they'll get that off of standing on the backs of Black women with Black men. And Black men seems to be the only race of men who will actually publicly dehumanize and degrade their own race of women to uplift others. So this is why a lot of these women are attracted to them in the first place. That's the pick me up that a lot of these women are looking for, and it's very unfortunate. But we're being, subjugated due to it. And Black men are very loud with their degradation, and this is global. This is extremely bad in London. It's the sickest in Brazil and Africa and everywhere where Black men are. It's as if they have sacrificed us just to be in proximity to whiteness. What do you all think about that?
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Mia. I definitely think that you made some good points. I definitely think that you know what I think, just like what you were saying of like the how the women, may not be wanted in their community. That's basically what you're saying. I think that Black men are essentially like the dumpsters of the community, of not even the community, the dumpsters of the world. So they take everyone else's cast offs, all the women that in their own communities their men are not attracted to, they may not like the women's personalities, whatever, they all come to Black men for that self-esteem bump and push up. They do that because Black men don't have any standards or requirements for women if they are not Black. The only requirement is don't be Black and you're amazing, you're a 10, you're a 10, you're a 10, which is why you see so many powerful Black men that you would think would have, access to beautiful top tier Black women that will probably be some of the most stunning women that you've ever seen. But those are not women that they even want to talk to or pursue. They will prefer to be with a non-Black woman that is, mid all the way around. And I really hate to say that, but I don't know what else to say to get what I'm saying across. But women that are, mediocre and yet they cannot stand anywhere close to the Black woman, but they're one up. Their saving grace is the fact that they're not Black, and that is terrible. Let me go up here to T and then Supervillain.
Hey, hey, what's going on? What's going on? Good morning, ladies. Okay. It doesn't surprise me in the slightest that you still have black women and particularly dark skinned women that still a fan of Chris Brown, because if you even look at the black community, we're always promoting these degenerates. It doesn't matter if they're rich degenerate, if they can't read, they a felon, it don't matter if you don't have a job. The point is these women will always defend a degenerate man, especially a man that publicly says that they don't want them. But this, like I said, this isn't new to me, because not only in the black community, if you look at it in the music industry, period, even back in like Tina Turner days, James Brown days, they've all those men have been abusive. Look at Rick James. He had kidnapped a woman, held her in his basement, and did whatever he did to her, and he was still famous. People still loved him. He didn't miss a beat of his success. To me, honestly speaking, I would be more surprised if there are black artists that are not misogynistic and not abusive, honestly speaking, because it seems like it's a good majority of all of them. I'm keeping a buck with you. I mean, I would say it's damn near all of them until it's none. And we keep getting wrapped up in a talent, and we just ignore the red flags and ignore the horrible personalities that they have. So, like, if you look at Blueface is like the modern Chris Brown. He's like the new Chris Brown. He's publicly being abusive, not even disrespectful, abusive to Krishan, and he still got his money. He's still famous. He abused his son on television. He's still, like I said, haven't missed a beat of his success. Um, so when it comes to celebrities getting away with it, especially them being black, it just seemed like it's just part of the culture. It's just part of the culture, and I think in order to fix the black community, if there's any room to fix them, it's like it has to be a whole complete purge, honestly speaking. So I mean, it's sad. At this point, I'm just more disappointed in us ladies, not us like us here. I'm talking about like just collectively black women never stepping away from this and saying that this is not what we want. We don't want nothing to do with this type of behavior, and collectively let these men sink and drown. But they don't do that. They always find some excuse to try to still be in proximity to them and still want to support them. Chris Brown went and got where he's at. It's not from the male supporters. It's mainly from the women supporters. Because, like y'all pointed out, if you look at the photo, women are paying to take pictures of Chris Brown. And I don't know if y'all saw the video that was the photo that was flirting around. It was a G man that wanted to take a picture of Chris Brown, but he didn't get the picture that he wanted. He got like a back to back picture. To me, it was pretty funny. But the majority of them over there taking pictures were women. You know,
You,
like these. I'm sorry, what you said?
I'm sorry, T. I just wanted to interrupt. Not what you were saying. I agree with what you were
Hmm.
saying. It was like I just had like a legitimate question because it was people in the comments. Like, so I think the first person that said it was Mickey Talks. She was like, if you find out that you're having a son, then you need to terminate the fetus. Now, personally, I'm gonna say something. I don't know if it's unpop. Now, before I even say what I'm about to say, I said it sort of yesterday. I have two children. You know what I'm saying? By my husband, two children. I have two girls. So I'm not no boy mom. I don't have any stake in the game because I have girls. When I was growing up and I thought about being a mother, I thought, did I want to be a mother or did I not? I just knew that if I ever was a mother, that I wanted girls and I didn't want boys, and that's what I got. So let me just say that. So I'm not here to say this because I got boys, and there's nothing wrong with a woman having boys. But I will say that you saying that somebody should terminate a fetus because it's male is really insane. I really think that it's mentally unhinged. Like, I don't understand how you could even get to that point. like where you would think that somebody should terminate an innocent child, especially from a mother that clearly, if she's pregnant, she wanted to be pregnant to have a child, that she should get rid of the baby because it's male. That number one is insane. And anytime you work from a place of irrationality and extremism, things are never going to work out for you because your mind is not where it needs to be to think clearly. That's number two. Number three, if we're all talking about black women, right? That we love black women, we love each other. Do you want black women to die out? Like, exactly how will women, more black women, or even if you're talking about dating out, how will more biracial women be created if you terminate all the men that are coming up? Are we gonna just, have like men that we keep inside closets, and we we put them in like pods, and we only you know what I'm saying, what is it, harvest them for semen, and then keep those in like the little deep freezers, and that's how women have children moving forward. And so every child that comes, we do it through that way, and then we have children, and then we make sure that those are all girls. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm not saying you need a lot of males to populate. What I'm saying is that, what are we talking about getting rid of innocent male children? All men are not bad. And I really hate that I even have to say that, because it makes me feel icky to say anything in defense of men. But all men are not bad. So how do you know what the man that you're going to have is going to be? He could grow up and be great. He could grow up and be this, that, and the third. He could grow up being a fantastic person. Like, I don't understand where the insanity comes from when y'all say things like that. I don't know. Like, it just doesn't make no sense to me. And if you're saying you're 62, to be 62 and to tell women that are younger than you and in childbirthing ages to terminate their children after you had some is a whole nother level to insanity. But like I said, I don't want y'all to feel like anybody can say what y'all want to say here, but I'm always going to check you when you say something stupid and insane, because I'm not no Princella. I'm not no person that believes in extremes and stupidity. I'm not somebody that's just going to jump off the front porch and say something stupid and nuts, because respectfully, that's stupid. It's dumb. It's foolish. It doesn't make any sense. You can be mad at men. You can be disappointed with men. You can think that black men are buck broken the same way that I do, because I do. I'm not going to tell nobody that they shouldn't, because I believe that. But saying things like that is just so unhinged and so crazy. I just don't even know what to say. I really just don't know what to say at all. And if you feel like if you got pregnant with a son that you would terminate, I don't believe you should be a mother at all. I think you should just be childless. Don't have nothing. Don't try to have nothing, because if you don't like men to that degree that you would terminate a son, why in the world are you having intercourse with a man at all? Why are you taking D at all? If men are that disgusting and men are that trifling, why are you having sex? The only way that I can see you saying that is if you went like what's the name? Ebony K. Williams route. You did a sperm bank. And then if you did a sperm bank, if I'm not mistaken, you can choose, right, what you want to have at a sperm bank, correct? But I don't know, but I think you can choose what sex you have at a sperm bank. So if you're not going the Ebony K. Williams route and you're taking dick respectfully, what in the world do you look like aborting a baby or terminating it? You don't dislike men that much. You don't, because if you did, you wouldn't be taking dick. You wouldn't be sweating and pumping and doing that with somebody. So y'all got to think rationally when y'all say things. It doesn't even make sense. It's not even logical what you're saying at all. Like, and it's irritating because when y'all come off the front porch with things that are illogical, you make all of us look crazy. You make everybody think that women that are speaking about certain topics are irrational lunatics. And I ain't crazy. But anyway, Proud Black Woman said that she wanted to respond to this. You can. I'll give you 2 minutes, sis, and then I'll go back to T, because I interjected on T.
Oh yeah, I just want to speak on that real quick. So I don't know, Triggered, if you've heard that is an actual movement. Where there are Black women who are deciding not to have sons. And then there are Black women who are deciding, if they were to get pregnant with a son, to terminate it. Now, y'all have heard me, and I've always been open about this.
Hey, Proud. I'm sorry, sis. Are they having sex with men? Or are they going to the sperm bank?
So here's the thing. What I'm thinking is happening is, because I know for me, I'm abstinent, so I ain't sleeping with nobody. But I I think the point of it is, and I believe that it was Cynthia G. I don't know if have you ever listened to her, Triggered? Cynthia G.
Yes, I follow
Okay,
Cynthia G.
okay. So she came out with that idea a couple years ago, but I'll be honest, I had already made my decision like long before she even came out with that. And the point of it is, right, is to start over. Like we keep birthing the same sons who grow up to be the same type of black men, right? That's the point. I just want you to understand where the point is. It's coming from. It's coming from a good place. I know it sounds crazy. I know it does. But it's coming from a place of our sons, we're most of us are going to be abandoned by the black men that we have a son with, right? So it's like black women are starting to realize that we're not doing the best at raising sons. Not all black women. There's going to be some that are going to have great experiences, right? But for the most part, we have a lot of black women who it doesn't matter how much they love their sons. It don't matter how much they teach their sons. Their sons are still growing up to be the same niggas that we talk about. So in order to combat that, just don't have sons at all and start over. That's I'm just telling you where the idea came from, right? Just to stop there. My issue is for me is I already knew I didn't want a son with a black man. Okay, I'm just gonna speak personal experience. I already knew that. So for me, I made sure not to have kids at all. That's just how I dealt with that.
Okay.
I would love to have a daughter, but I'm gonna be honest with you. I personally would not want to have a son with a black man, especially right now in this time because of what we're dealing with. But I'm not gonna go out here and allow myself to get pregnant, and I'm just speaking for me. And then I have a son, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm aborted. I'm gonna just make sure I don't do it at all. That's how I handle that.
Okay. I'll say this. I think that if not you specifically, Proud. So I don't want you to think it is you. I think if a black woman has a baby with a black man, or she has a baby with a non-black man, the chances are him being self-hating are on equal standards. Because you have plenty of biracial men that move forward and don't choose black women at all and are disgusted by them. So, but my thing is this, is that if you don't want to have men, you think that men are so terrible. I just feel like, why are you having sex with them? Why are you engaging in relationships with them? I just think that that's where things don't add up. If you think that men are so terrible that you don't think that they should exist in the world anymore, I can't imagine opening my legs and getting pounded by somebody that I think is disgusting, and I wouldn't want to see any of them moving forward in the future existing. If I don't think you should exist, you're not finna get none of this pussy. You're not about to get it. Period. Respectfully. You're not getting Nathaniel. You're not getting Nathan. I'm not touching you. I'm not kissing on you. You ain't living in my house. We're not getting married. We're not doing none of that. You're not coming through on the late night at 2 or 3 a.m. to just hit it. You're not doing none of that. You getting away from me. Period. There's just no reason for you to be having sex with men if you feel like they shouldn't exist. Any part after that is irrational. Like I understand we can say that there's reasons behind it, but it's still an irrational way of thinking. If you don't think that men should exist, there's no way they should be in your spaces intimately at all. Because if you're allowing that, are you an animal? Do you have no control over your desires? You can't keep them in check. You can't go to Amazon and get you know what I'm saying, a bullet, a rose, you know what I'm saying? A glass, you know what? Anything to take care of yourself. It just doesn't make any sense. And women, if you already got a man, if you're married right now, please don't talk about terminating no babies and telling other women not to do that when you had your time and you was getting pounded everywhere. Like, please don't do that. If you got kids, you already had kids, they already grown, and you telling women that they never did none of that, that's also disgraceful. So if you already had kids, you got a man, don't say nothing to me about this. Like, for real. Because it's just, like I said, I don't like the irrationality. And I really believe the reason why I feel so strongly about it is because I feel like that's the reason why a lot of men can make it like feminist movements are a joke. And that the things that we say are a joke, because there are so many women that's come from a point of bitterness. And I never thought that the word bitter should be a dirty word, because yeah, you could be bitter. My first husband did me super dirty. I did divorce him. He did get his just desserts. He is out there right now on hard candy and selling his body and doing a whole lot of things. He's completely destroyed and damaged, right? So I could say, yeah, you getting what you deserve, but I'm still bitter, I guess, because of the things he did. He shouldn't have treated me the way that he did. So I don't think that bitter is a bad word. But so I don't want women to think that I'm trying to say anything about women when I say this next thing. There are so many women that are bitter and broken and damaged, and they cannot get over it. And so now they are grasping at straws to deal with the pain and anger that they feel about the way they have been treated by men. And it has caused them to be in an irrational headspace and to say things that are not rooted in any type of logic. And what happens is a whole bunch of other bitter, broken women that are upset at men too come and say, yes, sis, that's right. You know what? It makes perfect sense to be taking dick, but not want to have a male baby. No, it doesn't. The reason why y'all all agree is because y'all are all working from the same emotional states. And that's the reason why it's always good to have people around that don't think like you or have different experiences so that they can keep you grounded. Because if men were saying this, y'all would think this was insane. Y'all would think it was wild. And you know, truth be told, women don't have the track record of doing the things that men have done. So it would already be crazy from that perspective. But all I'm saying is that that's literally insane. And for some reason, when women say it underneath my page, you can say it. Like I said, this is a space for everybody to say how they feel, even if I don't agree. But I'm always going to make sure that I am very, very vocal in saying, I don't agree with none of that shit. So please don't lump me in the category of believing that, because I think that's absolutely insane. And Mickey Talks, if you think that I have a male-centered attitude, you're nuts. You're nuts. I've spent my whole life, and I wouldn't even say my whole life. I've spent at least the last 18 years of my life realizing how men are and not playing no games with these men. That's the reason why I have the life that I have right now. So I don't have a male-centered attitude. And that's exactly why I said the word pick me is overused. Because you have women that the minute they don't agree with you, then it's, oh, you're a pick me. You're a pick me. You're a pick me. I'm not male-centered. I ain't saying nothing about men being a center of nothing. All I said is if you are taking dick, you saying that you don't want to have a male baby and you're going to terminate it doesn't make logical sense. You telling women to terminate their children after you yourself have taken, how much dick have you taken, Mickey, at 62? You saying I'm male-centered, you probably been way more male-centered than me. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not even going to take offense to the words that you're saying to me. You know what I'm saying? I'll just say that you're not working from a logical standpoint. You're not. It's a lot of things that I can say right now to you that will be way more harsher to you than what you said to me. I'm going to give you grace, Mickey. But if you don't like what I said, you don't have to be in here. I don't even know why you in here in the first place. I just started seeing you pop up out of nowhere. But, you know, I'm feeling upset by the things that you've said, because it's been so many times you've commented foolishness in my chat and I never said nothing to you. I just let it ride because I'm like, hey, you know, she wants to express herself. Let me not put a block on how she say things. But today I was just like, I'm going to say something because this is just ridiculous. But for you to turn around and try to call me male-centered and whatnot and try to insult me, you know, my thing is when people say things to me like that, my instant thing is to clap back, you know, and really tear you to pieces. And Mickey, I just want you to know, I really could make you feel bad today, but I'm going to show you grace. I'm going to show you grace, and I'm not going to get in your butt, your behind. I'm just going to leave it how it is. But I'll just say this. If you don't like what I'm saying, you can easily click that X and you can go, and you can never be seen again. And I promise you, I won't miss you, and I'm sure you won't miss me. So if you don't like what's being said, please just go, but don't insult me, because this is the last grace I'm giving you. You insult me, you say something crazy like that to me again. No, I would say that you didn't trigger me, you upset me because you disrespected me. And you can have a different perspective without disrespecting me, without calling me male-centered, because I'm not male-centered, nor have I done anything to show that. All I do is center women every day, all day. I don't let black men come up here and I really get a chance to talk to them and let them say their perspectives. I don't even listen to men. Like, I think somebody mentions Tony Gaskins on here. I forgot. I heard so many bad things about Tony Gaskins, like for women exposing this man. I don't listen to any man. I don't trust any man to say anything. Unless I know you personally in real life, I don't trust nothing no man say. So for you to call me male-centered is wild. Like I said, you disrespected me. I feel like you disrespected me. That's how I feel. And I personally am trying to bite my tongue and not giving you the same response or the same treatment that I feel like you gave me. So like I said before, you can have a different perspective all day, every day, but you don't have to disrespect me. Don't call me no pick me. Don't call me male-centered, because that's meant to be an insult. And if I insulted you, you wouldn't like it. You know what I'm saying? I didn't say that women can't terminate. I didn't say that. If you want to terminate, terminate. I said that it's insane to me to be having sex with men and say that you don't think a male child should be born. That is logical. If you dislike men to that degree, why are you having sex? That's not, that's not, that's not. You know what? You did. You said that I have a male-centered perspective. Mickey, you know what? For your own sake, I'm going to go ahead and block you. All right? And people that I block, a lot of times y'all like to come back and y'all like to come back under other names and things like that. Don't come back here, Mickey. Okay? Don't come back. I'm going to block you right now. Don't come back. I don't want to see your face again because if I do, you're not going to like what I say. You have a great day, Mickey. All right? Goodbye. Have a great day. I blocked her. I'm not even gonna have a conversation no more because she about to make me say something that I don't. I'm a type of person, I really try to be nice a lot. I try my best to be nice. But if you know, I try my best to be nice. I really try my best not to disrespect black women. I try my best to practice what I preach because I see so many people that say things and they don't live by them. That's why the things that I say, I want y'all to know I really do live by them. I really do believe them. It's not no cash grab or clout grab because I ain't getting no money and it ain't no clout grab either. I really mean the things that I say and I really try my best to respect black women, even if I don't agree. I really do. But you're not about to play me. You're not about to play me, play in my face, play in my chat, act like you didn't say what you was trying to say. Especially when you said crazy things for a long time now and I haven't said nothing. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I just know that I saved that lady. I saved her by blocking her because I could feel myself getting upset. I'm a person with emotions and feelings like everybody else. And one of my like main boundaries is being disrespected. I don't like to be disrespected. I don't like to feel like somebody trying to play me or sun me. And if I feel that way, for some reason, that just really makes me mad. And that will instantly get a reaction that people don't want. So I'm just gonna go ahead and just leave it there, you guys. That way I don't have to dog nobody out or read nobody or read a black woman. I don't mind reading these men, but that way I don't have to go at a black woman. So I'm just gonna leave it at that. And she's blocked. Anybody that's my mods that's in here, if y'all see Mickey in here, please block that lady. I don't want to see her no more. I'm gonna block her on my other pages as well. T, I'm sorry, I interjected on you. You could go ahead, sis. I'm so sorry that it
Oh no,
was so messy.
you good. I was just chilling, and well, not chilling because I'm always busy over here with the kids. No, I guess I started that conversation because I said that we needed like a whole purge, and so with that being said, with about the whole smishmortion and terminating male children, and if anyone don't know, I have a son. My one and only child that I will ever have, because I'm one and done, is my hold on is my child, is my son. So with that being said, that don't mean that I defend the whole gender entirety because I have a son. Only thing I would say is that I understand that, because me and Supervillain talk about stuff like that all the time, about how it being a women's only like country, or women's only island, or whatever the case may be. One of the things that we have to come to the realization, there's going to be women that have internalized misogyny as well. And those are the type, I mean, we can't pretend that there's no such thing as self women that hate other women, and those are the main ones you have to look out for as well. Rather or not that you bring men in or not, there's going to be women that just hate other women. And that will always be a problem for us. And like you mentioned, like the feminist movement, one of the things I wanted to point out real quick, I find it funny how a lot of these women will sit there and say, because I know a lot of our mutuals, and I'm not really trying to be messy, when they be screaming out, this is no disrespect to them, saying, just stop giving birth to our oppressors, but then they believe in the T ideology. They believe in that if a man was to put on wear women's attire and says that he is a woman, he is a woman. So that contradicts everything. And these are the same women, that like G men. So if you terminate boys, then you are terminating the T women. If you terminate boys, you're terminating G men. And these are the women that love those type of men. And I find that to be hilarious. I mean, that's what will happen if you terminate all boys, you know. So, with that being said, I understand what they're saying, but we cannot pretend there's no such thing as women that's not cuckoo for Cocoa Pops as well. That would still pose a threat to other women as well. Do men pose a greater threat? Absolutely. But there are women that still posing a threat to women because, like I always say, behind every degenerate man, there's a degenerate woman supporting him. So it's not just black men have to gotta get it together. These black women gotta get it together as well. You know, it's a lot of women that me and Supervillain be mentioning, like we be talking outside of TikTok, that we say that we wouldn't trust them because of their male centeredness, because of their because of their ideology. So I'm just end it there because I got my girl Supervillain there. No, it's okay. I don't need another six. I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, no problem. I appreciate you, T. I just wanted to say, you guys, just one more time that I have no problem with everybody expressing themselves. I know that we're not monolithic. We're black women. We have things in common, but then we will have, you know, things where we don't agree on or we have different perspectives. I have no problem with that. I really don't. I don't want y'all to think that I do. I don't have a problem with y'all expressing yourself. The only thing that I would say is that sometimes I may challenge you to think deeper about why you're thinking the way you're thinking. I just, like I said earlier, I just think that sometimes because of a lot of the mental state of black women and how upset they are at black men and even men in general and how, you know, we are not a protected group of women. We don't have anyone. We have to rely on each other. A lot of times it's just us against everybody that sometimes that creates an anger. And like I said, I say bitterness because I don't think that bitterness is a bad word. You can be bitter because of experiences that you've had. That doesn't mean you're a bad person. That doesn't mean anything. But sometimes when you congregate with other groups of women and they all have that negative experience, then sometimes your thinking may not be as clear or have as much clarity as you would like it to have. And so all I do is just challenge people to think, critically about what's going on. Like I said, I don't understand how it could be logical at all to anyone to say that if you think that men are a certain type of, you think all of them are terrible, why are you being penetrated by them? That's what I'm saying. Why would you even want to accept their energy inside of your womb if you think that they are all disgusting and terrible and not worthy of life? That's the only thing that I'm saying. And if you're a black woman and you think that black men are bad, and they shouldn't be birthed. It doesn't matter if you have intercourse with a white man, a black man, an Asian man. He's still going to be partially black no matter what goes on. So if you feel that way, why are you even taking a chance on having intercourse at all? It just doesn't make any sense to me. That's all I'm trying to say. But anyway, like I said, I'm sorry that it had to be like that she had to go. But yeah,
Supervillain, I'm
it
so
had to be.
sorry. I don't mean to take Supervillain's time. I just remembered because you said it.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention about the bitter part. Yeah, bitter can is usually used negatively, but it can actually is not a bad thing because if you really look at it, we all coming from not a bitter point of view. We all coming from a point of view of a place of not pain, but because we are particularly black women, we coming from a oppressive state. Like we are oppressed. Just like the same thing, like when black men try to say, "Oh, you sound bitter," but y'all cry about racism. Isn't that not coming from a bitter point of view? How are you supposed? Who are the people that talk about change and want change? It is not the people that are the ones that are in pain, the ones who have suffered. And with that being said, being bitter, I understand. Like I said, I understand being bitter is not necessarily good, but like you say, it got to be coming from a place of logic and rationality. And as everybody know, like I'm a woman of logic. I try to make the best sense out of everything, and I do think a lot of times in the feminist movement looks like a joke because it is a lot of women that just angry with their baby father, they just angry at a boyfriend, they not coming from a place of women's liberation, they coming from a place of heartbreak. And you can decipher which one of those women. Me and Supervillain talk about it all the time. Which women are the ones really for women's liberation, and the ones that's coming from a heartbroken point of view.
Yes, and I definitely agree with you, and I know exactly what you're talking about. And normally, to be honest with you, the women that talk about what the lady that I blocked was talking about. Normally they be the same ones that be believing that you can still be a woman if you have franks and beans and all that other stuff, and it gets so muted and jumbled up and twisted up. It doesn't make any sense. Like, anyway, I get what you're saying, but I'm gonna keep going. We can talk about this later. I just want to make sure everybody get a chance to speak. Super villain one. I know I'm going to super villain. And I think after that, Gabrielle said that she wanted to respond, and then I'll go after that to Mia, and then Proud. Go ahead, super villain.
Yeah, so hey, what's up, everyone? First of all, gonna do due diligence. Y'all tap the screen up. I see the comment engagement is really good, so that's awesome. But please tap the screen. We're having a very, very important conversation. Also, want to remind y'all that yeah, we're gonna have differences of opinions, but as long as we are sisters at the end of the day, it is okay because you know what a difference of opinion does? It either validates what you feel or make you look at your perspective in a different way. And those two things are the best things that can happen after a conversation. I'll be brief. I wanted to talk to the prompt, but to the situation at hand, I'm going to say this. Y'all all know I'm a separatist feminist. For those who don't know what that is, I try to live my life sans the interference of men as much as humanly possible. I am not an LGBTQ woman. I am still straight. I find men very attractive. With that being said, when it came to the termination thing, I'm going to just put it like this. I feel like if you do not want to have a child, you shouldn't. For whatever reason it is, that's none of my particular business. I know as some of my talking points can be very radical, so I do not judge anybody else on their radical views because I'm living a what is considered a radical lifestyle. I do not think we should judge women on their termination options at the end of the day because that is one of the things that will set feminism back. Because if we start saying what's right here, what's right there, it's gonna set us back a long time. Also, I just want to point out, y'all know that these men out here hate women and still get married and still have daughters and still can have someone captured in the basement. Like these are things that are possible. We are all human beings. I just want to point out that men can do some really atrocious, terrible things, and we go to sleep fine. We don't toss a turn. But mentioning something, if women can think about it, uh, causes a huge alert when we're only talking about it, not really practicing it because let's be honest, they have practiced gender side a long time. They definitely have terminated a lot of girl babies. Many societies have done this for centuries. So I just want to throw that out there, and we still here. There's still women and men, girls and boys still out here. I just want to make a real quick correction also to proud black women. So Cynthia G did not come up with that ideology. It's a woman named Brooklyn Blue, or more specifically, her name is Kendall St. Charles. She was kicked off YouTube way when Cynthia G was still a pygmy. So I just want to throw that out there because a lot of people credit that to Cynthia G, and no, it's actually a woman named Brooklyn Blue who actually had a son who was attacked by the people on YouTube who did not like what she was saying. And this is a woman who already had a male child saying this. So I just wanted to correct that information because I know a lot of people weren't on YouTube in like 2008 and stuff, but that's when that idea came around. Now to the prompt, I'm gonna say this: the Diddy, Tory, and R. Kelly post is the one I really wanted to speak about. This is what I mean when I say that there's no such thing as good men. However, men can do good things, and we as women confuse that for them being good people. My perfect example is R. Kelly. People know what R. Kelly went to jail for. People knew R. Kelly was doing what he was doing way before he was ever convicted and went to jail. People still, and I'm going to say women, supported him, bought his merch, bought his music, all that stuff. We all know he went to jail for assaulting or attacking young underage minor girls. However, people today, which is including women, are still saying they would go to a R. Kelly concert if he was in jail. They would buy his music if he recorded it in jail. This is R. Kelly doing a good thing, right? Being talented. He's very talented. He can sing. I'm not going to take that away from him. That's him doing a good thing. And we still treated him like a good person. Even though he's a degenerate, he's not a good man. He's done very terrible acts. And when I say that, that's what I mean. I know it hurts, or it makes a lot of women feel uncomfortable when I say that. And I'm not going to lie. Again, I'm radical. I'm going to, speak in extremes because that's just who I am. But that's the perfect example. I know I ran out of time. I'm gonna just take one, maybe 30 more seconds, Trey. I do want to say this. For a person like me, when I say it's all men, I honestly believe that. I just navigate men differently. Even my own daddy, who I love so much, I tell y'all all the time, my daddy raised me to be a strong black king. He taught me to side eye him. I side eye that nigga. So I'm just gonna say that I know we all coming from different places, and it's because we have, like you said, Trey, different experiences, and it may be coming from a bitter place. I'm gonna tell you one thing I will never ever care about a nigga thinking that I'm bitter because these dudes are out here eating monitor lizards, doing it with apple pies, holding children hostage in basements. They're doing all types of stuff. I will never ever care if a man thinks I'm bitter. If you're not bitter after knowing what men are capable of, that's the scary part for me. It's almost like we're saying we're at a no smoking convention and we're listing the reasons why you shouldn't smoke, and then we break for a 5 minute cigarette break. That's the stuff that's confusing to me. I mean, yo.
Okay. Super Villain, I appreciate you. I did want to just respond to a couple things that you said real quick. I just wanted to say, I think that women have the right to do what they want as far as being, choosing what they want to do with their bodies. Like, even if I agree or disagree, I still think that every woman has a right to choose whatever she's going to do with her body. I do believe that. But I also think that there's nothing wrong with speaking out against harmful behavior. I don't think that if you speak out against harmful behavior, that that's going to stop or hinder someone from having the ability to terminate a pregnancy. I don't believe that that's going to happen. Definitely not if women speak out about it, because the people that are making the choices right now for women and their bodies and all of that stuff are basically men, and a few pick me women that are assisting, but mostly it's men that are making these decisions. But I also believe, like, a lot of times when people talk about the option to terminate or end a pregnancy, we make it seem as if women are completely powerless. Like, pregnancy is something that just happens to you. It's like a situation of, I don't know if anybody ever saw the movie with Denzel Washington, Fallen, where they were the demon or whatever was jumping from person to person by a touch. You don't get pregnant that way. You get pregnant by somebody having intercourse with you. So you always have a choice in whether you get impregnated or not by regulating yourself and your body and not having intercourse with men if you don't want to get pregnant, or making sure that you protect yourself in multiple ways if you don't want to get pregnant. You know what I'm saying? And for people to say, oh, well, some people get pregnant regardless, those are probably in less than 1% of cases that happens to women statistically. So you can protect yourself from being impregnated by you making the right decisions and the right choices. And like I said, all you have to do is abstain from sex. And as far as the girl babies and things like that being terminated across the world, that is true. I think I've told everybody that I make sure that I research things that happen to women all over, because I want to get perspective on not just what happens to women here, but what happens to women all over the world. And there have been plenty of countries where they have actively terminated girl babies or dropped them off in orphanages, where they've had orphanages filled with nothing but girl babies that have been abandoned. That is absolutely true. But I think that, and of course, that is at the male's request, and that is a patriarchal ideology that girls are less than. But I will say that I do believe that that is exactly what separates us from men. The fact that our humanity, our empathy, our respect for life, and respect for everything. That is the difference. We can't say that we're different than men and then turn around and engage in the exact same behaviors that men do. Where does that make sense? We say, oh yeah, we should go ahead and terminate all the boy babies because, hey, they would do that to us. And if that's the case, then we're no different than them. And I believe as women, we are different. I believe that we are on a different wavelength, that we are, dare I say, better. So I don't believe that being the way that they are is something that we should be doing. So that's all I wanted to say about that. You know, like I said, I'm not trying to make anybody change their mind. I'm not trying to police nobody's pussy. Y'all can do whatever y'all want to do with it. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I really, truthfully do not. You know, as long as I have instilled the right ideas into my daughters that I have done my job. I did my part. I'm just trying to say, to give a different perspective, because like I said before, I really do believe that there are a lot of ideologies that are going on right now that are completely illogical, completely irrational, don't make no type of sense, and it's all coming from a point of hurt. And the reason why so many women think that it's okay and it makes sense is because women that are just as broken as they are co-signing it. And anytime you allow a man or men to get you in a point to where you out here acting crazy, that's where I feel like you've lost the plot. Because I'll just tell y'all something real quick. My mother, right? My mother was married to my father. I was raised with both of my parents in the house. They until like I was like 20. I think that's when my mother ended up filing divorce from my dad. Cause my dad was tripping. He was disrespectful. As I'm gotten older, I realized that I can see why, you know what I'm saying, that she would have said no. My parents were married for like, I think it was like 25, 26 years, something like that. She decided to leave. Now, after that, my mom became a whole different type of person. My mother was already not an emotional person. Like, she never told me she loved me, never gave me a hug, never a day in my life, a hug, a kiss, or nothing. She would always say that she never wanted kids and I was an accident. And the reason why I had no brothers or sisters is because she never was going to allow that to happen again. My mother was a really, she was a different type of person. But even with her lack of emotion and all of that stuff, as after she got divorced, she even became an even different person. Became bitter, became hateful, became vindictive, just became even worse than she already was. And when I got married the first time and I divorced my first husband and left and everything, she would always ask me, because we were still talking at that time, she would say like, hey, why are you not mad? Why are you willing to date? Why are you willing to get to know another man? Why are you doing these things? And she would, even after I got married to my second husband, she would tell me to do things that I know was going to be a sabotage to my second marriage, because I was like, he's not a bad man. He's a good man. And you telling me to do these things and treat him this way, that's not going to be, fruitful for a good marriage. And she just couldn't see it and she couldn't understand it. And what she did is because she was also raised in a cult like I was. I'm a third generation. So the only person that she ever experienced was my father. And she didn't have any other outlook on men or anything, and she chose never to get married again. She's still alive right now. I don't speak to her, but she's still alive, and she's not with anybody. What I'm saying is she allowed what happened with my father to affect her whole psyche, her whole mentality, everything that she believes, the way that she behaves, everything. Her moral factors on what she believes is right and wrong, all of that changed. And I personally don't believe in allowing men to change who you are fundamentally. I believe that is damaging to you. And I believe at the end that will make you lose out, that you allow a man to change you and alter who you are. And that's the reason why I never did it. I could easily say, oh my gosh, you know what I'm saying? I waited until I was 25 to have sex and get married. Because I didn't have sex until I got married. I waited till 25 to do this. And look, I got with this man. He okey doked me. He did all of this crazy stuff. I can't believe this. You know what I'm saying? Nobody put their hands on me like that before him. You know what I'm saying? Not no boy, because I never even had a boyfriend or anything. I could say like, oh my goodness, how could this happen to me? And then turn around and use everything he did to make me bitter, hateful, and hate everybody that come across. But then at that point, he would have won. He would have won. He could have moved on. He did his life. And what he did didn't affect him mentally. It only affected me. So I just don't believe in allowing a man to change you, who you are, because that's giving them way too much power. So that's the reason why I say the things that I say, because I don't believe in you letting a man letting a man change you. You can get rid of him. You can kick him to the curb. You can use whatever he did to you as knowledge not to allow that to happen in the future. But if you allow him to have you jumping off the front porch and thinking all this crazy stuff, who's really the loser in all of that? That's all I'm trying to say. But once again, I'm not trying to tell nobody what to do. You can take what I say, or you can leave. You can say, hey, she don't know what she talk about. Forget her. She male centered. She pick me. She this, that, and the third. Whatever. All I'm trying to say is that when people speak in absolutes, when people speak in things that don't make any sense, or they're totally extreme, I'm telling you, those are not the right ways to think, because the world is not black and white. There are gray areas. You need to be thinking logical, because if you don't, anybody can prey on you. Anybody can come to you with a crazy ideology and you'll run with it. That's the reason why black women are easily taken advantage of by people like Princella, by people like what is his name, public defender and controversial Shannon and Janine just a girl and all of these other weirdos that come online, because they speak towards your irrationality and your anger, and they are able to prey on that and line their pockets with it. So I don't have any stake in the game, for real. I'm not trying to manipulate y'all to do anything. All I'm trying to say is that y'all should open your eyes more and realize that where these thoughts come from, a lot of times they come from a place of hurt and a place of being unhealed. All right, with that, I'm done. I'm done preaching about that, man. Cause like I said, I'm really not here to tell nobody what to do. For real, for real. Honestly, it makes me feel bad because I don't want y'all to feel like I'm trying to tell y'all what to do. Cause at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, for real, for real. My life is so drama free that I watch reality love shows like Love Island and Love is Blind because I have no drama in my real life. So I ain't in a problem where I have a problem. I'm just trying to help others because I know how I got to where I am now. And I got to where I am by thinking how I think. And I'm just trying to help. That's all I'm saying. But let me go down here to Gabrielle. Go ahead, sis.
Yeah, so I actually did kind of have a different perspective. Is it okay with you if I kind of speak to that, or?
Yes, sure, sure. It doesn't
Okay,
even
yeah,
matter.
so
Just know if you don't agree, you can still speak how you want. It's fine.
okay, yeah, I just want to preface this by saying I do agree with you when you say that like women should be able to do what they want to do with their pregnancy. So I personally do believe that whether it's a boy or a girl, I do believe that each woman has the right to make that decision regardless whether you want to keep it and it's a boy or whatever. I just wanted to start off what I was going to say with that, but I do understand where that sentiment comes from because I have seen that online a lot as well. And I think the idea behind it is that like there are, women who will have sons and they are amazing women and they will have all of the great intentions to like raise their sons and actually do put in the work. And a lot of times these sons will have even dads who are like great or, not terrible, but then they'll go to school or they'll basically go out into society and come across other influences. And there have been all kinds of studies showing that like when like a boy goes on like, TikTok or YouTube within minutes, he is just like bombarded with red pill stuff. There have been like growing cases of boys who are, in like very, very young, like in elementary school or middle school, like essaying like the girls that they're going to that they're in classrooms with, they're like, or watching, explicit material. I don't want to say the word because of like the live, but there's just been so many cases of this. And there have been like a growing number of women saying that like, basically, and again, I know this is not like in every situation, but the idea is that basically if you are a parent of a son, even if you and your husband do everything you can to raise that boy to make sure that he's respectful to women, the odds of him going out into the world and being able to resist so many influences that push misogyny or, like let's say a boy tries to stand up for a girl in school and his friends say, oh, you're a simp, you're, a P word, blah, blah, blah. Unfortunately, it seems like the odds do lean towards that boy becoming a misogynist, and then you get people like the Andrew Tates and the Fresh and Fits, and it's just, I think it's because of that stuff that there's this sentiment of like, okay, well, maybe, women just shouldn't birth sons. Again, I promise you, I'm not telling any woman what to do with her pregnancy. I'm just saying, I think that is the sentiment behind it. I think another factor is that there, like over the years, have been so many viral, video footages of like gender reveals where like, they're like the dad like freaks out like visibly in front of like everyone when, like the balloons go off and like it's pink instead of blue. I mean, there's just been so much stuff like this. Like, I do hear what you're saying about like, if you think all men are bad, like, why would you deal with them? I actually do agree with that. Like, for me, I don't think all men are bad, but I think bad men do outweigh good men by a lot. And again, this is just me personally. Like, I don't want kids at all, like, period. I just know motherhood is not for me, but like in some parallel universe, like if I absolutely were to have a kid or were to want a kid, I just truly would not want it to be a boy. Like, I'm sorry, I wouldn't want to risk my life and go through pregnancy and, childbirth to potentially birth like another woman's essay, or like I know that sounds like extreme and radical, and like I'm not trying to be, but that's genuinely how I feel about it. Like for me, and again, I don't want kids, but in some alternate universe, I would only be willing to do that for like a girl. And I just think with the way that boys seem to be going, it's not going in a good direction. A lot of them are leaning into this misogyny, violence against women, violence against girls. Like I don't know how that gets turned around except to like stop having them. But with that said, I do believe there are some good men 100%. But I mean, I don't think that they are the majority, unfortunately. But again, I totally respect everything that you were saying. I just do have a bit of a different perspective on this. I did kind of understand where that sentiment is coming from. But thank you for letting me have my say.
Okay, no problem, Gabrielle. All right, I'm gonna go down here to Miss Proud. I'll go to Proud, then Mia, and then L.
Hey, so the first thing I wanted to just speak on real quick is the differencing. First of all, I want to say to Supervillain, thank you for correcting me, because I didn't know. I didn't get on YouTube. I don't know, 2016. So that was after Cynthia G was no longer a mammy. I didn't know that side of her. So thank you for correcting me on that. I thought she was the one who came up with the not having black sons. I do want to speak on the differing of opinions, and I'm just going to be 100% transparent here. I'll be honest. I don't handle those well. I'll just say that. I'll be mature, and I will admit that I don't really handle that well. I'm working on that as a content creator. I'm at 51K. I realize I do sometimes have to be a little more patient, and I think it's because, Triggered, you mentioned how a lot of women have gone through so many things with black men, and so a lot of us are hurt, and I think that's an understandable pain. I don't hate, I don't dislike all black men, but I'm sorry, the majority of them are not good men. And it's a different type of disrespect that black women get. Other races of men, they have their issues too. We know that, but black men have made it their mission to completely publicly tear down black women. So that's what makes their abuse so much more different to me than other races of men, because other races of men are not sitting up online bashing their own women. This is something that's only black men. Okay, we have to be honest about that. So that's what makes it so much more hurtful, and that's why, like I said, that's something I noticed when I was in high school. So I've always stood up against that, and I'm gonna do that until the day that I die. I mean, this is my calling. This is my passion. So when it does come to us disagreeing on certain things, that is hard. That I'm still learning that. I'll say that. I'm still learning to be accepting of different opinions. Not that I want everybody, I don't expect everybody to agree with me. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying some things do make sense. I personally understand why black women don't want to birth sons, because I'm one of those black women. And I can say that. That's my choice. I'm not interested in taking that risk. It is a risk. I understand what you said though, Trigger, when you said, well, women shouldn't be sleeping with black men at all. That makes sense to me. And I'm one of those I'm not sleeping with them. But I know that I'm pretty sure other black women who are still engaging in those acts with black men and still don't want sons, which to me doesn't make sense, because that you're putting yourself at risk. Also, I did want to mention another thing that people didn't consider is there is procedures that women can take to make sure that they have a daughter instead of a son. So that to me would make more sense. Like I forgot what it's called. Don't quote me on it, but there are procedures where women can go in and actually pay. It's expensive to actually make sure that they have a girl child, if that's really what they want. So that's just another option for other women. to consider. But I know that that's an extreme. I know it sounds extreme. The first time I heard it, I think to me, it didn't sound extreme because I had already felt that way many years ago. I have to agree with Gabrielle. I mean, everything she said is the truth. I've even said this to y'all. You know, I've been harassed by little black boys. I'm in my 40s, and I've had young black teenage boys harass me in grocery stores to the point where I thought I was gonna have to put one on his back. It's getting there. That's a reality, that black boys are turning into the same abusive, disrespectful men that black men are. And they're starting at early ages. We cannot ignore that. So I'm just saying, for me, I'm speaking for me. I'm not interested in bringing that into this world. And then I have a son who's out here doing that shit. Because I've already said to y'all, I will put my own son 6 feet under. And I mean that. That's why I know it's not good for me to have one. Because I know how I am. That's how passionate I am about black men who harm black women. I'll take my own son out. And I'll do that shit with a smile on my face. And I'm grateful that I don't have any, black men around me or even in my family who have this behavior, because they wouldn't be in my life if they were. So I will just land there. But I will say one more thing before I land. I work with me. Everybody be patient with me. I'm being transparent with y'all. I do have I don't really know how to deal with differing of opinions, especially when it comes to topics like this, because I do feel like I look for a space, Triggered, where it's not male centered. That's why I'm here. So when she called you male centered, I already knew she ain't been here. Like, she ain't been here that long. Because if you were male centered, I wouldn't even be in your live. I cannot stand those type of women. I can't stand them. I cannot stand them. I've been honest with y'all. I don't like them. Fuck them. That's how I feel about male centered women. I don't care. So I knew that she didn't understand your content to even say that, to even make that comment. But we do look for people that we can agree with. We do look for that, because you got to remember, there was a time where black women could not talk about these things. We could not, nobody understood. So yes, I'm happy to have lived long enough to see other black women who I can relate to on this level. Yes, it makes me happy. So when there are differing of opinions, I do kind of, I kind of shiver a little bit, like, oh, wow, and I'll be honest, and I'm working on that. And I'll land there.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, proud black woman, and I understand what you're saying. Like I said, I don't have any issue with nothing that y'all are saying. I really don't. I think it's us having different opinions and stuff like that is healthy. I really do. I just think that I think when she called me male centered, I think that was really what was for lack of a better word, triggering for me. I felt disrespected, and once I feel like a certain type of line is crossed in like the respect of me, there's pretty much no going back. It's like you're done forever. So I just wanted her to be gone, because I was gonna say something reckless, and my mouth is really slick, but I really do not use it against black women. I try my best not to do that. Let me go up here to L. Go ahead, L.
Hey, everybody. Hello. Thank you for letting me come up. I appreciate it. I just wanted to, so I'm not a parent, right? I don't, let me just say my little value system real quick. So I don't necessarily like men, right? But I do love black people, and that does extend to black men. I don't believe most black men are inherently bad, but I do believe the society in which, and the system in which they have to operate is bad, and the parts that they benefit from are hard to let go, because at the end of the day, they still are men, so they do benefit in a way that we don't as women. And obviously we don't benefit as being YT, so like we're literally at the bottom of the totem pole. And I do feel like black people in total, as a collective, are victims of the system. And I'm not saying that as an excuse, right? But it is important to acknowledge in this conversation. And for me, that elicits a grace, right? And I'm not here to tell anybody when and where to exhibit grace. It's yours, your own to give. But I feel like we black women as a collective extends so much grace to so many people. And we are often not getting it back. And to the point of many other people on the panel, the disrespect, the overlooking, the underappreciating, all of those things, right? We deal with that regularly. All that to say, like, I'm tired. So I'm at a place where, like, I'm at a place where if something makes especially a Black woman happy, I'm not gonna like come at her for enjoying that, because life is short and we deal with so much. Like, so I don't know. I go back and forth, just going back to the prompt about Chris Brown and Tory Lanez and everything. I personally have cut a lot of that out of my diet when it comes, because I do feel like music is supposed to nourish your soul, right? So I have cut a lot of that. But there are a lot of my friends that haven't. And we have this conversation regularly where it's like, okay, but you're still supporting someone who is oppressing us, right? But at the same time, it's like, bitch, I know what you've been dealing with us, right? But at the same time, it's like, bitch, I know what you've been dealing with. And I know that if that little beat make you happy, you know what I mean? So I'm at I don't really know where I land on that. And I think I don't really know where I land on that. And I think that I'm in a space where it's like, we should hold these people, these artists, these people accountable. But I don't think that Black women should be the ones held accountable for their action, if that makes sense, for those actions. I don't know if that, like, fully, that's just, and I think that my back and forth on this topic is like a manifestation of the conundrum that we live in regularly as Black women, having to operate in a system that and push it forward so that eventually we get some sort of benefit from it. And I'm tired of doing that. I don't know. I just wanted to share that, and I appreciate you for having this space to be able to share that, because I don't feel like there's any other group that would understand living in that space like Black women do. So yeah, that's all. I'll land there. But thank you so much. I appreciate it.
No problem, Elle. I had a question for you. When you said that, you said something like, what like Black women are doing, like, let them do it. Were you talking about like the support of Chris Brown, or were you just talking about the music? I think I may not have understood exactly what you're saying.
So, he just went on tour and a lot of my friends went to the concert. And, I was thinking about, like, how them being in that space with that music made them feel happy, and they got to dress up and they had fun and they enjoyed themselves, and, spent the time on themselves, spent the money on themselves, and did something that they enjoyed. And although I don't necessarily agree with the thing that they did that they enjoyed, I don't want to ridicule them for it, because I understand that we go through so much. And I guess there's just, like, I just have, especially when it comes to Black women, a just certain grace and understanding, because, like, we carry a lot. Shit that we haven't even personally lived through. We know trauma is passed down through DNA. You know what I'm saying? So we have, like, centuries of trauma, you know what I mean? And we're so creative and resilient that we've made it a culture. And, like, we all know that men can build houses, but women make houses into homes. So what do you think we've done with the trauma that was placed on us? Women created a culture. You know what I'm saying? Black women are responsible for Black culture. Large majority, right? So at the end of the day, like, we've done what we are supposed to fucking do, and we've done it for so long. So it's just like, damn, I'm tired. I'm tired of making sure that everybody else is good. I'm tired of having to uphold some shit because people don't know how to act right. It doesn't mean that I'm excusing the behavior, that people shouldn't be held accountable. I guess I'm still on going back and forth with where I land with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, okay. I think I get what you're saying. I'll say I understand the part that you're talking about being tired and all of that, and black women having to do a lot of things. I do get that. I do think though, and I'm not even like I said this earlier. Like I'm not even really tripping on women that may like, some of Chris Brown's songs and may listen to it, in the car on a like Apple Music or whatever. That's not even something. But I do feel like taking your time to go and spend hundreds of dollars on tickets to support a man that wouldn't spit on you if you were on fire, that thinks that you're ugly and nappy headed. I do think that that's a little bit much. I think that dark skinned black women who are, kicked out and pushed out of his sections, spending $1,000 to take a picture of him to pretend, or take a picture with him for him to pretend that he likes them or sees them as a human being. I do think that's a little gross and a little disgusting. And I think that it's weak, it's weak behavior because you don't have to do that. It's not like, how like people will tell you like, hey, we need to, like somebody will say, hey, you guys need to boycott Walmart. But what if this person doesn't have a car? They don't have anywhere to go. They're in the food desert and the only place to get anything is Walmart. Then yeah, they need to go there. They may have to swallow their pride and go do that because there's no other options for them to eat. But a Chris Brown concert is an option. It's not something that you have to do to enjoy yourself. You can go somewhere with your girls to get drinks. You can go to brunch. Y'all can go for a run. Y'all can go for a hike. Y'all can go get y'all hair done and y'all nails done together. Y'all can do a lot of different things. Like going to a Chris Brown concert is something that is an option, not something that you have to go to. So I do think that's a little weird, like every woman has a black woman has a right to do what she wants to do. It's not like I can go, materialize in their house and take the tickets and tear them up. But I do think it's a little weird to give your money to someone that doesn't like you. And black women live in delusion about Chris Brown. No, he's already shown with his actions and also his words that he doesn't like or respect black women, fully black women, monoracial black women, possibly maybe if you're biracial or something like that. But he doesn't respect black women. And really, if you look at his choice of women he's had children with, they need to be more on Asian or biracial. You know what I'm saying? I think all of the women, I don't even know if the women he's having children by, I think if I'm not mistaken, they're just Asian. So, I find that to be weird, but, everybody has their right to do what they want to do. But I do think that black women have got to stop doing that because I do believe that when black women give their undying support to a black man that has done nothing but spit and take dumps on them and step on them and make songs where they say, hey, I'm only talking to the girl, the bees with the good hair and all of these other things that he said and done. It's like, at what point do you have some self-respect and say, you know what? I'm not going to give my money to you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at what point do you have some self-esteem and say, nah, I can't support you. I can't rock with you, homie. But let me go up here to Logical and then PhD Kimmy. Go ahead, Logical.
Good afternoon. Well, plot twist. I worked with Chris Brown for over 10 years. And this is gonna blow your mind. Chris
You know
don't need
what?
it to
Logical plot
yes.
twist. I don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. That's the plot twist. The plot twist is I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. I could tell by the words that came out of your mouth that you a pookie. And I don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. Okay? So have a great day. Because just like you were about to say, hold on, you don't tell me to hold on my live. To take your little dusty self on out of here. Respectfully. I don't want to hear nothing that you got to say. So that's the plot twist. Plot twist. Goodbye. Okay? Let me go ahead and block you. Just because he has a black female manager doesn't mean that he respects black women. Do you know how many white people are violently racist and they have black people in their family, black people in their circles? They employ black people. Do you know how many people that were slave owners had black people? Surprise, this will be a shocker for you. They have black people cooking, working in the fields. Here's another surprise for you. There were racist white people that were out there having sex with black people. Did you know that? Did you know that? Yuck, yuck. There were white tea people that were actually having intercourse with the black people that they said were less than. Okay, but let me go ahead and block you. Goodbye, Logical Drama. Have a great day. Goodbye, you're blocked. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you about nothing.
I bet
Let
you
me
he
go
was
over
gonna
here
say
to oh,
straight. I
what
bet you he was gonna say his dentist is a dark skinned woman. That was-
He was
co-star,
gonna
his
say,
co-dancer
the
is
lady
dark
that
skinned.
does his grounds, that mows his lawn and does his upkeep, that cuts the bushes, is black. Like, oh my goodness. That's exactly why I just like we wasn't even gonna let him talk. All right. Let me go up here to PhD Kimmy. Hey, how you doing, Kimmy? Let me unmute her. You there, Kimmy?
Hello, hi. I was
Hey.
in this picture because what is going on? Why is she posting all up with Chris Brown saying, "Oh my man, my man, my man"? Like, and then you've got 120K likes. And look how many people, even my friends, I can't lie, were liking this. I don't understand because it's everyone. Even like my friends went to the concert as well. And I was just like, but we've all seen the pictures of Rihanna. Like he's literally gone to court. Like this is the blatant disrespect of black women constantly. Like he doesn't respect black women and he doesn't even respect women in general. So I don't understand why, like black women, we personally keep supporting this man, and the rest of society has just allowed him back into society. And not only have they allowed him, they're paying thousands of pounds to go and see someone do crackhead moves. Like, I'm so sorry. Chris Brown is not even attractive. He looks like a bug. I don't understand what these girls see in him with his three dreads. Like, he's just not cute. Like, I just think that even with Tory Lanez as well, like I've seen Megan the Stallion in person, like she's a gorgeous woman, and a lot of these men are jealous of her. They didn't know who Tory Lanez was. Tory Lanez had like two good songs. But Megan the Stallion was popping. Megan the Stallion was with Beyonce. Megan the Stallion is a college graduate. And it's obvious that he shot her. Well, sorry, he pew-pewed her. And I just don't understand how we have all these court cases and we have all these files, but we know the people who are shaming Megan, they can't read. They can't read past a third grade level. So I understand why these people have all this misinformation. But my thing is that even when this whole situation has gone, he's now being locked up, and it's like 5 years later, they're still harassing her in her comments constantly. She can't be seen with any man without them talking about free Tory. Free Tory. You go on free Tory and go pay for his noodles in commissary then, since you want to be a pen pal. I just don't understand that. It really pisses me off because she's done nothing but help the black community, and we're literally punishing a woman for being pew-pewed by a guy she trusted and gave her body to. This is honestly why I'm celibate or abstinent, really. But because the whole dating pool, how it turns out for you as a black woman, you will always be blamed for a man's actions towards you. Like it doesn't even matter with if the man is black, BLK, white. It doesn't, as long as they're a man and as long as you're a woman, and especially a black woman, your DV is not taken seriously. No one cares about what happened to Rihanna. I had to cut off this friend that was like, "Oh, Rihanna started it first. She did it." What? I'm sorry. I don't care what Rihanna did. It does not compare to the picture that we saw. And after this whole Diddy and Cassie situation, and I saw so many pick-me's defending Diddy, I said, yeah, there's actually just no hope. But for me personally, once I noticed this pick-me behavior, and you're going to Chris Brown concerts, you're defending abusive men, you need to get out of my circle. Yeah, I'm done.
All right, all right, all right. I appreciate you, Kimmy. I definitely agree. I agree with everything that you said. I don't know. I don't know why women are doing it. Like I said, I think that what I think is that constantly seeing black men lust after women that look nothing like the women in their community. I think that creates a deep sense of insecurity, and of course not every black woman, because there are some black women that have like very strong self-esteem, and that's not going to affect them. But I do think that it causes insecurity in a lot of black women, and they feel like if they become the black man's doormat, that maybe that'll make them more attractive. Or if they just show that they'll be there no matter what and offer all of this love and support to black men, that one day they'll realize and recognize their worth and value. And in my opinion, that doesn't work with black men. It doesn't work. When you give black men everything, they will give you nothing. Now, if you give them nothing, in my opinion, they will give you everything. So I do believe that women have got to stop thinking that being their doormat is going to get them to give them something. They're not going to recognize your worth and value. All they're going to do is take you for granted. And that's what's been happening with black women, is that black women have been giving black men a safe space while black men give them nothing safe at all. They don't give them a safe space. The reputation for black men is not that they love and rock with black women no matter what. That's the reputation for black women though. But it's not the reputation for black men. The reputation for black men is that they like everybody else but black women, that they love white tea women, that they love being with them. It don't matter what the women look like, just as long as they not black. That, to me, I feel like that is the society's perception of black men versus black women, means that black women have work to do. That we've got to stop giving black men something that they never give us. That's the reason why I talked about earlier. I talked about Anthony Mackey, and I'll show you the pictures again for anybody that just came in. That's the reason why I showed you guys the pictures of Anthony Mackey. You know, he's the new Captain America. He's been in a lot of other movies as well. That you see him, never saw him open with his wife that he was married to for 4 years, that has 4 of his children, that he said was his childhood sweetheart, that he's no longer with. Never saw him nowhere on no street corner kissing and hugged up with her. But you see him kissing and hugged up with this mediocre looking white tea woman. Not trying to be funny, but we all have eyeballs. We see that she's not hitting on nothing. And I think that when black women see things like this, it creates like some type of, well, what does she have that I don't? And you have to realize that what she has is whiteness, or if she's not white, non-blackness. And that black men hate themselves so much that they don't want to see the reflection of them, oftentimes in a partner. They want to see somebody that doesn't look like them. No, this is not his wife. His wife that he's divorced from was black. But yeah, so I'm just saying that these things are happening a lot, and I think that we as black women have got to shift it by not always being there, not being there for the support system of black men. We've got to stop doing that collectively. And I believe that I do believe a lot of black women have started making those moves, but I think it's way more black women that need to do it. I think right now it's a 50-50 split. I think 50% of black women are doing the work and another 50% are not. And 50% is too high of a number to ever expect to shift real change in the community with the way black men see us and think that we are just their rehab centers. You know, that's all I'm trying to say. But let me go to Supervillain. Did you have something to say? You there? You have something to say?
Yeah, no, I was just listening. I don't know if I had came off. Sorry.
Oh, no problem, no problem. T, did you have something to say?
Yeah, I do find this to be funny. This is his wife, or
No, just some random girl.
oh, okay, this is obviously his type, you know. I mean, like I said, nothing surprises me at this point. That's why I'm not exactly optimistic. I'm not exactly only thing that I'm optimistic for is for black women, like, you know, waking up and doing stuff for themselves, and having the ultimate goal of living a healthy and fruitful, healthy life. You know, so it's sad. It does disappoint me a lot when I see women do goofy stuff. I'm sorry to say that word, but when I see these women do goofy stuff for black men, just off the strength of they black men, and we also got. I wasn't gonna try to go there, but we have to differentiate what type of black men that these women like, because it seemed like to me, uh, if I'm gonna just be like, just throw it out there, it seemed like the same women that saying black men are horrible put G men and the T ones in a different category, as if they're not men, as if they didn't put as much like contributing to black women's pain and oppression as well. And that's the part I would never stop, like it would never cease to surprise, like understand, don't y'all understand that just because a man is not sexually attracted to you, that does not mean that you're safe. That don't mean that he understands your plight. That does not mean anything. And when I be seeing on this app all the time, when like I see live saying straight men don't like black women, and I'm like, do you think the G ones do? Do you think the ones that put on dresses do, that made it legal for other men to be able to walk in a safe space and harm them? It's one thing if you putting on your little costume, you want to cosplay a woman and want to live your life as a woman. That's one thing. But y'all actually took it to court to make it a law, to make it legal that Franks and Beans can come up in our space. That is what that to me, those type of feminists will look at them as unsafe. If you're a woman and you listening to me and you believe in that bull crap that, oh, gender is a spectrum, there's no such thing as man and woman, and then but you hate black men, that doesn't make any sense to me. If y'all don't believe that if you believe that gender is a spectrum and you believe in all of that stuff, how and specifically you don't like black men? That doesn't make any sense. Like I don't know. I'm going nuts trying to logically rationalize it for myself, and it's just making me go around the corner, like making me go around and around and around, and to the point I'm losing my marbles, honestly speaking. So when we have these conversations and everything, women like to just point out and just focus on the straight men when all reality is just all of them. You have women that believe that, oh, if a man is G, everything is okay. No, them too. What do you think Tyler Perry is? What you think Tyler Perry is? No one degrade black women more than Tyler Perry making a profit. And if I'm gonna go there even more, the guy Zeus Network, you can't tell me he don't play for the other team, but he is making a shitload of money watching women, terrorizing women, behaving like animals.
All right.
He is profiting off of women being violent and drunk. It's just, ugh, ugh.
All right, T. All right. I just want to respond real quick to somebody in the comments. I think his name was King something. He said that 85% of black men marry black women. I wish that y'all would really stop using these type of outdated statistics, because 30-some% of black men get married in their lifetime, which means the majority of black men don't even get married at all. He's using a stat that came from blackdemographics.com. But I will say that statistically speaking, people normally marry inside of their race more than they marry outside. But black men marry the least. And also they're messing with a lot of women that aren't black, that they're not marrying, that they're not having anything to do with. They're just having these relationships with. So y'all gotta stop. Yeah, I know 85% of black men ain't married. I think he's saying 85% of the 30-something% of black men that get married are married to black women. And that's a disingenuous thing to say right there, because you make it seem like 85% of black men as a collective are getting married. Well, that's not true. But I think that's what he was trying to say. But yeah, he was wrong. But
How can we argue numbers with men who can't even fucking read? If you can't read, I don't think that you're gonna know math, dude. I'm just saying the math is not mathing. Oh Lord.
I mean, I definitely agree with you. I'm gonna go here to Supervillain. I'll give it, since we got a full house again, I'll give Supervillain 3, and then I'll go down to Gabrielle because she said she had something to say, and then I'll go up here to Miss Proud. Go ahead, Supervillain.
Thanks. I wanted to actually piggyback off T, but really quickly, that marriage statistic always going to be bogus, because, again, out of 10 men that are black, 4 will get married and 3 of them will be married to black women, and that's a question mark of what they consider black women, because you already know they consider the one drop rule. So one is definitely out of the four not going to have any black in them, and the other that are considered black women, maybe two of them will be exoticals and one will be a fully black woman, maybe if that. So let's if we were to break the numbers down, let's be so for real. And plus, marriage is not something that black men covet, because if they did, their numbers would be higher in other races, because they try to make it seem like it's black women when it's not, because in other races y'all do worse. So again, I hate when they bring that up, because that just means only 3 out of 10 black men are married to black women, and that's what you consider black. Again, you could be 3/4 white and check the black box. We don't know who these black women they're considering are technically black. Rachel Dolezal is they black queen. If you sorry, if you ask them. But really quick to back what T was saying about how men are dangerous, and a lot of the times the men in the community are left out. This is why I say it misogyny. Well, I got that from T. Misogyny doesn't have a sexual preference, right? The man does not have to be attracted to you to participate in harmful practices against you. We say this all the time. The men in Congress, most of them are, G men, and they're still doing laws and passing practices that take autonomy away from women's body, even though they're not attracted to women in the first place. I'm never gonna argue with men who have identity crisis, like they're mentally ill. My issue is the advocates that support and lie to them. My number one thing is when they say that genitals don't matter when it comes to deciphering if you're a man or a woman, which is crazy to me, because the very first thing these same feminists talk about when they're talking about crimes against girls and women, it's never being underrepresented in Congress, it's never education, it's never resources. It is always number one, sexual assault. So how sexual assault is always the number one go-to, and then genitals don't matter when you're a woman or a man. Never, the math will never make sense to me. I yield.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, supervillain. All right. Let me go down here to Miss Gabrielle. Then we'll get Proud, and then we'll get PhD Kimmy.
Yeah, yeah. I was just listening. I think there was a lady up here earlier. I think she dropped, but I just thought it was. I had a really different point of view from her. I thought it was strange when she was basically saying that she had friends who went to go see or went to a Chris Brown concert, and then she's like, "Oh well, if they enjoy his music, I don't see anything wrong with it." It's like I really I just don't understand that mentality, because like we already know the history with Chris Brown. He was the one, saying free Tory Lanez, like even like after Tory Lanez was, convicted for, pew pewing Meg the Stallion. I mean, Chris Brown was still one of the ones coming out and saying that he should be freed. I mean, and that's really on brand for Chris Brown. But I think the lady who was saying this was saying that she was pro woman. So I don't understand the logic behind saying, oh well, if you enjoy the music, then there's nothing wrong with going to the concert. I mean, by going to the concert, you're putting your money into this man's pocket, and he legitimately does not like women. Violence against women is not a disqualifier for him. He sees nothing wrong with it. He thinks that men who are violent towards women, who, use lethal weapons against women, that they should just be freed. Like, I guess people can do what they want to do with their money, but I don't understand supporting that. Like, I would not even want to be friends with any woman who went to a Chris Brown concert. And I know that might sound extreme to some people, but for me personally, I've just reached a point where I literally cannot deal with people who misogynistic men, internalized misogynistic women. Like, I can't deal with any of it. So I did not understand how she was able to, say she was supportive of women, but then thought that there was nothing wrong with her friends giving their money to an abusive misogynist just because they happen to like his music like that. I don't know. It just blew my mind.
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. All right, I appreciate you, and I definitely don't disagree with what you said, Gabrielle. I'm gonna, since we got a full house, I'm gonna give everybody 3 minutes. If you guys could try your best to stay within the three, that way we can get everybody a chance to speak. All right, I'm gonna go over here to Miss Proud. See your back, sis. Hey.
Yeah, I'm in and out working, but I came back. So I thank you, Gabrielle. I just always love her points because I'm her and I are the same when it comes to male centered women. We both don't like them. And I will and look, I will beat one up in real life. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. So I'm being honest with y'all. I will go to prison behind one of them. So I wanted to go back to the black men, the okay, so the first one I want to go back to Anthony Mackey. Now you triggered has said you pointed something out and didn't even realize that you were telling the truth. You said that he looked a little suspect to you. Anthony Mackey, if y'all just want to go to Google real quick, he played in a movie called Brother to Brother where he was with a white man in that movie. They was kissing. Like, just go to the Google and you'll see it. It's a 2004 movie. Anthony Mackie has always been kind of weird to me in that way. And y'all know what they say about black men who date out and who put white women on a pedestal. A lot of these black men turn out to like men as well. So I'm not saying that's what he is, but he played, when I saw this movie for the first time, mind y'all, this movie is 21 years old. When I saw how good he played that LGBT character, I was like, oh my God, like, does he like this in real life? So that's probably where he was looking a little, that's probably why he looks that way, because he actually played that part. I also want to bring up somebody else, y'all, because the Breakfast Club and them, like, I don't care what nobody say. I feel like, who is that's on the Breakfast Club? Them two girls. It's Just Hilarious and the other one. I just feel like they are so male-centered. They are so male-centered. Like, they were talking about Kid Cudi. All right. Now, if y'all know anything about Kid Cudi, he is he's known to wear a dress. He's been, y'all look him up. He wore a dress a couple years ago. I will give him some heart, right? Some sympathy, only in a sense that he has struggled with depression. He has struggled with unaliving thoughts himself. Okay. Unfortunately. But even in all that, okay, even in all that, Kid Cudi still turned out to be a self-hating Negro because he just married a white woman. And he's also been known to only date outside the race. And that's why I say, when it comes to these black men in the industry, y'all, we have to just be honest. And it's sad to say, Jamie Foxx is one of them. Like, all of them, it's almost all of them at this point. Like, it's to the point where we can really count the black men who are not self-hating and who actually are with black women and who actually do like black women. That's how many of these dudes that we have in the industry, which is why I feel how strongly I feel about black men, because it shows how they are not leaders. They are followers. This black man.
Proud. Let me ask you a question, Proud. Somebody said in the comment section, like what you were saying about like Kid Cudi and like Anthony Mackie. Somebody said in the comment section, it was like, you were there, but you probably didn't read it because it was in the comment section. No. But they said the reason why a lot of times like men like Jamie Foxx to choose these white women is because they engage in taboo types of sexual activity that most of the time black women are not down with, like pegging and other type of race play and degrading things like that. Do you think that has a part to play in it or not?
Absolutely. As a black woman y'all know, I've dated white men. So I was around white women, and, you know, I've seen white women do things in the backseat of cars with black men. I've seen that. So absolutely, that is why. But I want y'all that person who made that comment, I want you to think about that. It just goes to show the sick, psychotic mindset of black men. Like, everything is sexual with them. That's all they care about at the end of the day. And whoever's gonna do it quicker, whoever's gonna do it nastier, that's where they go. To bring up Jamie Foxx again, y'all gotta remember when Jamie Foxx, y'all can go and look this up. When Jamie Foxx had that incident, that accident that he happened, whatever, y'all remember when he was going through that health crisis a couple years ago? There was no white tea woman around. That white tea woman that he was dating was not no longer there. It was just his daughter. It was just his daughter. So it's like when and they were talking, we were talking about it. It was all over TikTok. I don't know y'all if this was 2022. Do y'all remember that? The white tea woman that he was so talking about, she left him. He only had his daughter. His daughter was the one doing all the speaking for him. And I think his daughter is biracial. So it goes to show how when these same black men get in those situations where they're no longer can provide, when they're no longer at their best self, those white tea women aren't even around. It's hilarious to me. And to me, that's karma for them thinking that those women were better than black women in the first place. That's what he get. And that's just honestly how I see that. I'll land there.
All right. I appreciate you, Proud, and I agree. All right, let me go down here to PhD Kimmy and then Jay. I only said Jay because I don't want to mispronounce your name, so I'll go to PhD Kimmy and then Jay.
No problem. Now to the question, like, would YT women do the things BLK women wouldn't? Yes. Especially when it comes to fingers and the back door. And we can see that in the case of Shannon Sharp. Shannon Sharp thought that that girl liked him. Okay. And that's the delusion. At the end of the day, you are still a BLK man. And at the end of the day, race still exists and it doesn't stop at backshots. Sorry. Like, I just think that this is common sense. And I think that I think some BLK men have let the internet on the red pill persuade you that, oh, we're the most desirable. But in general, like, the statistics don't show that. The statistics show that YT people have put themselves as the beauty standard and are seen societally as most desirable. We know as Black people, we are the blueprint, but they need to be honest with themselves because they'll come on the internet and degrade BLK women and say that we're undesirable. They'll do it in songs like Chris Brown and say that with your real hair and all of that, all these girls that don't wear their real hair. I actually heard that song in the club. I was in the club and I heard that and I was like, damn, this man really hates BW, and I don't know why we go and support him because, like, even there, it made me feel so isolated. I'm like in a village, like I'm one of the only few Black people. I'm in like the UK, so like it's an island in the middle of nowhere, and I've had so many experiences in person, like with colorist light-skinned men, like, and it's just even the celebrities are just an example of the things that we face every day as a BLK woman, and I feel like even with the T community, I absolutely agree with what I think it was Gabrielle said about Tyler Perry using BW for entertainment and for cash. And I feel like it, for me, I don't like when certain people in that community say, okay, one thing is wrong, but this isn't. Because why is Rachel Dolezal being allowed to collect awards that were meant for Black women? Why are we funding Tyler Perry and going to cinemas to watch his movies and bringing our Black daughters and Black sons to go and watch Black women be degraded on screen, and you hand this nigga your money? Like, at the end of the day, like, he's still a man. And I can't lie, even Medea, I realized for me, because it took me a while to like actually cut these things off, because I realized it's actually cultural appropriation and gender appropriation, because they'll say, oh, if you're white and you want to be Black, and I agree, that's cultural appropriation. So why is it the same when people try and make a book of Black women? This is what has been done since the beginning of time. Even look at Lemuel Plummer, look at Baddies, if you want a more urban representation. Like, Baddies has Natalie Nunn, Jocelyn Hernandez, and Triggered. I know you did a video of Jocelyn Snortandez. He like Erica Mena, and we also did a live on that as well. Look at how all these women that we do lives on and that are the biggest pick meshas and degraders of black women, especially dark-skinned women, look how they pair with men to degrade black women on a systematic level. And I'm so glad Shannon Sharp got Shannon Sharp. And I hope it happens to the rest of the people who degrade black women, especially in their own families, because Shannon Sharp wouldn't even give his daughter a good wedding. Shannon Sharp was giving his daughter spaghetti. But you will give a YT woman. Let me get to this point as well, because a lot of people in that society, in like the celebrity world, they're part of the T and G community. Because why would Shannon Sharp ask this girl to do door stuff? Like, why would you do that on a regular basis? And you're giving her 25K per cheek, but you wouldn't give your daughter a nice wedding, and now all your fortune has been lost. And Diddy too. I'm sorry, there's a common theme. I don't want to be conspiracy theorist. I'm gonna land there though.
All right, all right. I appreciate you, Kimmy, and I definitely agree with everything that you said. And I think that you made a good point where you talk about the appropriation of black women, because that's what it is. That's why I never like the black men that come up here on like TikTok or whatever and they pretend to be black women and they build their like whole brands on pretending to be like a stereotypical black woman. I think what's his name? TT or whatever. It's so many of them. I always thought that they were weird and sus and just all of that. It's just really disgusting because black women are, because who's cosplaying? Never mind. Yeah, but I totally get what you're saying. Let me just keep going so I can let Jay speak. Go ahead, Jay.
Hello, everyone.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. I've been listening for a couple of months and just kind of like gathering information and just kind of finding a space, where I can express what I feel. But I do want to add, though, to what Proud was saying is that I do believe men, they have a lot of sexual depravity. And they use that as a weapon. That's why they turn around and have all of these kids spread all over the place, because that's the only thing that they have of value. They want to be the victim and the victor at the same time. I was listening to a live earlier with Poetic or something, and one of her prompts were men crashing out over losing control with women. And I was just listening to some of the men and I was absolutely disgusted. I was absolutely disgusted. One guy even said no, but he gave no reason why. And I'm like, this is really how a lot of these men think. Like, they really out here ruining lives, and they're not being held accountable. They're not being held accountable at all. I'm currently in Florida, and I've lived all through the Panhandle and down south. I'm currently down south right now. But just seeing some of the things and some of the, like, what the women do for men is pretty sad. And I'm completely turned off from men altogether. I don't know what'll happen in the future, but as of right now, they are dangerous and I'm staying completely away from them. Completely. So I just wanted to add that. And thank you, ladies, for allowing me to speak. And I'll continue to be in the chat and listening. Thank you.
No problem, Jay. I appreciate you. Yeah, you guys. I'm hitting 2 hours. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to end it here. But I will let everybody speak again before I get out of here. And if y'all want to talk about this again, because it seemed like we all had a lot to say about this. I know we went off sometimes a little off topic, but it's all good. Like, I think it's just good in any conversations that we can have to uplift and upbuild each other. So it's no big deal. I don't really care if we go off topic sometimes. So but does anybody or do y'all want to just leave it like this, or does anybody have anything else to say before I get out of here? Yeah, y'all can unmute yourself if y'all do.
I just want to always end with just telling black women how much I love them, and if they feel that little sprinkle in their heart, that's me reaching out. And of course, I want to thank you, Trig, for curating this space where we can all come together, no matter what our opinion or outlook is. We're able to just be Black women without being judged. So I want to thank you for that. And I just want to thank the panelists. Always feels great to not be the smartest person in the room. I love all y'all. Y'all have a great rest of your day.
All right. I appreciate you, super villain. Proud, did you unmute yourself? You have something to say, sis?
Yeah, I just want to say thank you for always letting me speak on here. We just really appreciate your space. And especially appreciate, I do want to say I appreciate how often you go live. I work and do other things, so I can't go live as much as you do. And I think that that's a great thing, that we can still pop in. I appreciate how often you go live. I did also find your YouTube channel, because I know you mentioned I was actually on YouTube before I got on here. I found your channel and then I realized, oh, she posts the lives on her YouTube. I think that's dope. So I wanted to tell you that.
Yeah, girl. It's people
Yeah.
on there. Like, you got a fan club, right? You got a club where people like you, and then you got some people that come in there and they be like, oh, she opinionated, she this, that, and the third. A lot of the times when people say things like that, I just block them, so you probably won't see the comments, because when I block them, the comments disappear. But you got a lot of women that really like you too and like to hear your
That's
perspective.
crazy. Yeah,
They
yeah.
like
I
super
mean,
villain too. They like super villain
wow.
and T too.
Wow, that's interesting. Yeah, and that's another thing too. I want to say this real quick, and thank you for bringing that up, because a lot of people come on here, even on TikTok. Oh, they posted a video about you here, and they talking about you. I don't care nothing about that, bro. Like, my face is all over the screens. Like, ain't nobody hiding nothing over here. Like, we know what we're doing as content creators. We knew the risk that we were taking. We know that we're gonna get people that aren't gonna like what we say, because at the end of the day, the Black community does not like Black women speaking up on these issues. That's really the bottom line right there. So, and I'm a Black woman who's gonna go against that until I die. Ain't nobody finna change that. So it's nice to know I have some fans over there too. I'm gonna go check you out when we get off of here, some more. And I love the haters too. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I love the haters, because the haters be the ones that follow you the most. So I appreciate them too. And I will be going live today at 5, just in case anybody wants to join. But I do want to say, Trigger, thank you so much for your space. I always appreciate. But I do want to say, Trigger, thank you so much for your space. I always appreciate you. You're awesome. Much love to the ladies on here, and everybody have a great Friday. Thank you so much.
Have a good day.
All right, thank you. I always appreciate you, Proud.
Day.
All right, thank you. I always appreciate you, Proud. Did any of you other ladies, y'all got something to say before we get out of here?
Oh, I just wanted to say thank you so much for this space. And I literally subscribed because I saw you were trying to rehouse a homeless woman. And you really created a safe space for Black women. And you don't just like go on here and make money like half of these grifters. Like, you actually genuinely do the community work. And that's something I do myself. So when I see it in other people, like, I really connect with it. So I think that, yeah, you're amazing. And I think that everyone watching the live should delete their Chris Brown songs on their playlist. Thank you.
All right. I appreciate you, Kimmy. Thank you so much. And Gabrielle, did you have something to say, sis? You there? I wonder if she might have stepped aside. You there, Gabrielle? But if not, I just feel like she might have stepped away or something like that. But I just wanted to say to you guys, I honestly, I just want y'all to know, I really, truly, truly appreciate y'all coming. I appreciate y'all hearing all y'all. I appreciate hearing all of your perspectives. I really do. Even if I disagree, or even if it's like something like that, I still don't care. I still appreciate hearing all of your thoughts. I'm so happy that you guys feel comfortable enough to express yourselves, even if you feel like I might disagree, because sometimes you have spaces where the person feel like, well, wow, I can't say exactly how I feel because I don't know how it would be received. So I feel like it means a lot to me that you would even say however you feel, anything that you guys share with me. Anything that I ever say is just rooted in the love and the protection that I feel towards Black women. That's all that it's ever rooted in. It's rooted in, I hope that you guys, however way that you choose to live your life, whatever decisions that you choose to make, the only thing that I want for you is to be happy. Happy, healthy, love, safe, however that manifests for you. That's the only thing I want, truthfully. I don't care about who you touch, how you touch, whatever you do, who you entertain. I just hope that whatever decisions that you choose to make, that you're happy in the decisions that you make. That's the only thing I want for all Black women, is to be loved, happy, safe, healthy, and protected, because, a lot of us don't get that, So I just want to say that I love y'all, and I'm sending y'all nothing but love, light, and positivity. I will always try my best to create spaces for us where we are centered at the top of the top of the chain. Like I always say, that of course biracial women are welcome here, always. But I always try to center this from the lens of of monoracial Black women, because oftentimes we're the main ones that are ignored and put down at the bottom and looked at as less than. So it's a space for all of you guys to be here. And I just hope that you guys understand that my heart is pure. I have no, ulterior motives or anything like that in trying to, have this space for you guys, for real. Like I said, I started my page years ago. I started it from a pro-Black perspective. And once I realized how Black women were being treated online and things, and just the lack of empathy that everybody had for us, I transformed my page to a pro-Black woman space. And I realized that that's the best thing that I could do for Black women and Black girls, to be pro-Black women and pro-Black girls only. So anyway, that's the only thing I'm trying to come from you guys. And hopefully you guys will continue to come, and we can continue to uplift each other and continue to share our perspectives. And I just want to say that I love you all, and thank y'all again so much for coming up on the live today and expressing yourselves. I really, truly, truly appreciate y'all. Honestly. All right. Well, I'll see y'all later. I might come back later, but probably not. But if I do come back, it'll be tomorrow, but it'll be with something else. And I just want to say again, I love y'all, love y'all, love y'all. I will love y'all Black women to the day there's no more breath in my body. I will not stop fighting for you guys to be seen and heard. I will try my best to do it. And I may not always do it perfectly. You know what I'm saying? Because I am an imperfect person. I may get mad sometimes about if I feel disrespected, but just know that my heart is in the right place. And I love y'all always. All right. I'll see y'all later. Hope y'all have a great day.